Let's start the year right. New year, new you. Paano natin gagawin yan? Start ng 2022, jump start natin ang ating pangkalusugan, jump start natin ang ating health journey. Kung bagong-bago lang sa channel natin, this is specifically for you. Kailangan malaman na ang ating health ay hindi dapat inaasa sa chance na lang. You can totally take control of your health. And here is the perfect time to really set your health goals. So, paano nga ba gagawin na, for example, meron kayong mga medical conditions like the most common lifestyle-related ones, diabetes, high blood pressure, meron kayong fatty liver, meron kayong PCOS, meron kayong high cholesterol. Medyo nadagdagan ang timbang natin gawa ng holiday season. How do we, again, take control of our health para manumbalik sa normal? Yung iba naman, walang mga medical conditions pero gusto lang din talaga na maging fit and healthy. So, posibleng-posible po ito. There are just a few steps that you will have to follow. Hindi masyadong komplikado. And ito ay natural na pamamaraan. So, to jumpstart this new year, new you journey, ito po ang kailangan nating gawin. Unang-una, kailangan nating malaman na yung pag-regulate ng ating weight ay nakakaapekto sa pagkakaroon ng mga disease conditions. When your metabolism is not working that well, yun ang nagiging rason sa pagkakaroon niyang mga na-mention ko ng mga lifestyle-related conditions. So, if that is the case, then it's very, very important to understand yung mga hormonal basis, yung pinaka nagko-control ng ating timbang. And maybe this is the first time that you're hearing this, ang pinaka-master hormone na talagang nagko-control para magsabi sa katawan natin na mag-deposit ka ng fat, gumawa ka ng fat. Ang hormone na yan is si boss insulin. So, ang gawain ni boss insulin, every time nakakain ka ng mga pagkain that are very highly stimulating sa kanya, sasabihan niya ang katawan mo, go and store some fat. Go and make some fat. So, kailangan natin malaman yung mga pagkain that really affect boss insulin so much. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga yan? Well, let's go back to the basics. Let's understand na merong tatlong uri ng macronutrients. So, meron tayong carbs, carbohydrates, meron tayong proteins, at meron tayong fats. Diyan sa tatlong yan, ang pinakamataas na magsistimulate kay boss insulin ay ang carbs. So, ngayon, ang issue with the carbs, hindi lahat ng carbs pare-parehas. Merong mga carbs that will be very highly insulin stimulating, at meron namang mga carbs that won't be. So, ang importante is malaman alin para matukoy natin kung alin ang dapat nating iwasan. Now, unfortunately, sa kultura natin mga Pilipino, nagkataon na yung mga very highly stimulating na mga carbohydrates ang nagkataon na staple food natin. So, ano-ano yung mga yan? Yan yung rice, yan yung tinapay, yan yung mga colored drinks. Marami sa atin mahilig sa mga juices and soft drinks. Yan yung mga pansit, mga noodles. So, these things are very highly stimulating kay insulin. Every time kakain tayo niyan, insulin will be highly stimulated compared, for example, to eating something like broccoli na hindi masyadong nakaka-stimulate kay boss insulin. So, the key is to understand which types of carbs you need to avoid and which types of carbs you can have in your system. Isa pang nakaka-shock na malaman maybe for you na bagong-bago sa lifestyle na ito, actually, sa tatlong macronutrients na yan na na-mention ko, carbs, proteins, and fats, yung dalawa lang ang kailangan dyan, proteins and fats lang. These are the essential ones. Hindi pwedeng gawin ng katawan natin, so we have to take from the food. Si carbs can actually be made inside the body from the raw materials na proteins and fats. Hindi kailangan si carbs, so carbs are not essential. So, kung medyo shocking ito sa inyo na hindi ako kakain ng kanin and mabubuhay ako, opo, yun po ang sagot dyan. You can live without rice. Paanong proof dyan? Well, tingnan nyo na lamang po yung ibang kultura. Look at the Europeans, for example. Look at most of the Westerners. They don't eat rice every day, but they survive, right? Kasi rice is really just a preference. It is a preference na carbs ng isang particular region. Some regions, iba rin yung carbs nila. So, for example, in Europe, it's mainly bread. So tayo naman, mga Pilipino, hindi naman lahat sa atin kumakain ng bread araw-araw pero nakaka-survive tayo. Which also goes to show na hindi mo talaga kailangan yung bread to survive. So the carbs are not essential and mabubuhay kayong wala ang carbs. Hindi po kayo manghihina as long as you are meeting your protein requirements, and meron kayong fat. Kasi itong dalawang ito ay very essential yan sa katawan natin. We cannot survive without them. As long as kinakain nyo sila, you will be fine. So yun yung unang kailangan po nating malaman. So try to avoid yung mga pagkain that are very highly stimulating kay boss insulin. Ito yung mga pagkain tinaguri ang merong high net carb content. So mataas yung kanilang net carb. Ano ba yung net carb na yan? So the net carb is the total carbohydrates minus yung fiber, kasi fiber hindi yan na-absorb, minus yung mga sugar alcohols kasi yan hindi rin yan counted. So yan yung pinaka-total net carb natin. So to know kung ano yung mga net carb na pagkain na matataas, alin yung mabababa, we need to have some guide. And so dahil dyan, meron tayong food guide. Mada-download yan sa levelupwithdriris.com, libre lang po yan. Matatagpuan rin yan sa ating grupo, yung ating Low Carb Fasting Holistic Wellness Group. Join lang po kayo, nandyan ang link. Doon, magkakaroon kayo ng gabay from other community members who have been through the same journey. So kapag alam nyo na paano gamitin ang food guide, if you eat according to the food guide, madali lang siyang maintindihan. Para lang siyang traffic light. Yung green, go. Yung ating yellow will be pause. Pwede pa rin kainin pero in moderation dahil karamihan sa mga nandyan ay nagdaan na sa proseso or they will have higher net carb content. And then obviously yung stop, kailangan natin itigil. Tigilan natin kainin. So pag sinunod natin ito na yung ating go and pause section na ang kakainin natin, then this will allow us to not stimulate insulin so much. And so dito magsisimula yung pagbabawas ng timbang, pagre-reverse ng ating mga medical condition. Now, over time, mapapansin ninyo na habang paunti ng paunti yung carb na kinakain ninyo, padalang ng padalang din yung inyong sensation of hunger. So, you will not really feel that hungry all the time anymore. And so, it's a very natural thing to see in our community members na karamihan ng naglo-low carb na from 2 to 4 weeks ng adjustment, they will now start to naturally na mag-start ng intermittent fasting nila. Yun ay sa kadahilanan na hindi ka na nga ganun kagutom. So then, you can then start your intermittent fasting. Maraming iba't ibang regimens yan. Maaring twice a day ka lang kakain. Yan yung TMAD, 2 meals a day. Anong hitsura niyan? Pwedeng 16 hours kang fasting, 8 hours. Sa loob ng 8 hours, kakain ka ng 2 meals. Pwede ring 18 hours and then 6 hours ka kakain. So, iba't ibang strategies po yan. Meron tayong mga videos about that. Marami tayong gabay sa loob ng ating communities. Tignan lang po yon at aralin nating mabuti. So, kapag kayo po ay nag-commit sa low-carb intermittent fasting lifestyle, bigyan nyo yan ng 2 to 3 months na talagang to really do its magic. Yung committed po hindi yung yung pabanjing-banjing lang. Kasi of course, as long as we are still consuming high carbs, hindi talaga natin patuloy na nahihinto yung stimulation ni boss insulin. So, I am talking about real commitment. So, pag kayo ay nag-commit, 2 to 3 months, talaga maglo-low carb and fasting kayo, ang mangyayari dyan, a few things. Gaganda yung pakiramdam ninyo, mag-i-improve yung timbang ninyo, maaabot ninyo yung goal weight nyo in many cases, marireverse yung mga medical conditions, lalo itong mga lifestyle-related po, yung mga high blood pressure, diabetes, mga high cholesterol, even yung mga sakit ng kasukasuan, even yung mga skin problems, nag-clear up yan. Kasi again, sugar is very inflammatory. So, mapapansin nyo po yung mga changes na yan. And imagine, you are doing this in a very natural way. Walang gamot. You are just doing it naturally, no side effects, and makakasave pa kayo ng marami. And of course, yung inyong mga non-scale victories na tinatawag, hindi nakadepende lang sa pagbawas ng timbang, kundi yung overall wellness feeling po na may experience natin sa lifestyle na ito. So, also important to consider kapag na-master na natin ang low-carb fasting lifestyle, yung ibang aspeto ng ating health and wellness. So, really important too, if you want to jumpstart yung new year in a really good way, new year, new you, then take into account the other aspects of health din. Siyempre, dapat tama ang tulog. So, good quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours a day, depende, iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang pangangailangan, but at least those minimum hours. And then, of course, kailangan din iwasan natin yung masyadong maraming toxic stress. Normal lang na magkaroong stress sa buhay, pero yung toxic stress, that's not normal. And don't worry, I will talk about it more with you in the coming days. Panoorin po ninyo mga videos na lalabas about that. But that's also very important to consider. And of course, isama na rin po natin dyan, syempre, regular movement. You know, exercise is something talaga na dapat i-adapt nating lahat. It gives you so many benefits po. Hindi lang yung cardiovascular health. It's not something that I would advocate specifically lang sa paglulose ng weight po, because it doesn't really play much of a role. Kung weight loss, doon na lang tayo sa low carb and intermittent fasting lifestyle. Ang pag-advocate ko ng exercise is because of all the other benefits. So yung benefit niya sa cardiovascular health, benefit niya sa mental health, yung benefit niya sa longevity, autophagy, mga ganyan po. So, we advocate for all these other things para ma-address yung iba't ibang aspeto pa ng ating wellness, para very holistic talaga siya. So, hopefully, with all these things po, kayo ay magkakaroon na ng plan for this year to jumpstart your health journey. Maaring kailangan nyo itong marinig ngayon. Huwag pong mag-alala, nandito kami para gabayan kayo. Meron tayong community, so join lang sa community natin. Meron tayong free resources. Again, yung food guide natin, levelupwithdriris.com. Napakarami pa po doon ng mga free trainings po, walang mga bayad. Free, walang ibang nag-offer na platform na ganito. And all you have to do is really to choose paano kayo magla-level up. Saang bahagi ng buhay ninyo kayo magla-level up. Meron din doon kahit level up ang kabuhayan. So, level up wealth. Pipili lang tayo. And I do all these live broadcasts and meron tayong mga communities. We are very supportive of your journey here sa pagla-level up. And talagang ang ating wish for you is to be holistically well sa lahat ng aspeto. I'm wishing you a very abundant, very harmonious 2022. Level up po tayo lagi.